Well, it's looking like the bull run for precious metals is indeed not over. Silver up almost $1 today. Gold has moved up about $50. So I want to talk about why precious metals are going up right now and where I think they could go in 2025. So let's get into it. Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. I'm going to talk about why silver and gold are on the move today, and then I will get into my predictions for 2025, where I think the metals are headed. So right now, silver's sitting at $31.32. It's up 95 cents on the day, or 3.15%. Now, I just want to briefly point out, at the start of the year, silver was sitting at $23.82. So it has come up $7.50 from the start of the year until now. So if we see a repeat of that next year, we're looking at nearly $40 silver. But as I said, I'll get into my predictions later. Gold is up $50 on the day. This is a big move from gold, a big rebound from the recent dip we have been seeing. It's sitting at $2,617, up almost 2% on the day. So yes, both gold and silver are moving higher. However, silver is moving up faster than gold. We can see that with the gold-silver ratio coming down. It is still above 80, so I think silver is still a better buy right now. Okay, why are metals moving up today? Well, the most obvious thing you could say is that the dollar is going down. And look, precious metals will just do the opposite of whatever the dollar does. This isn't always the case. This certainly is the case today. But this just brings up another question, right? Why is the dollar moving down today? Now, the really interesting thing to note is there's actually not a lot going on today as far as economic reports and things of that nature. So I don't think the home builder confidence index is really going to make a huge dent in the strength of the dollar. Now, it did go up, and it's looking like more homes are going to get built next year. That's great, but this is not what's having an impact on the dollar right now. It's something else. I think this is what's going on. It's a headline over at AP News, but honestly, it's making headlines everywhere. It reads, Biden authorizes Ukraine to use U.S.-supplied longer-range missiles for deeper strikes inside Russia. So it's looking like the Russia-Ukraine war is in fact far from over and perhaps even escalating right now. So this is definitely causing a lot of fear out there, and fear certainly does drive people to invest in precious metals. Another thing going on is that Goldman Sachs has actually doubled down on their prediction for $3,000 gold next year. So if we do see higher prices for gold next year, we're likely going to see higher prices for silver as well. They say right here, gold is on track for its best year since 2020. And one of the big reasons for this is that a lot of central banks are buying up large amounts of gold. They haven't stopped. And in fact, they want to increase their purchases moving into 2025. So despite the recent drop in gold price, yes, it is moving up today, but last week it moved down considerably. I don't think the rally is over. I do think we're going to see much higher prices for gold moving into 2025 and beyond. Now, I will say one of the things taking away from precious metals is all of the money that is flowing into cryptocurrencies. If cryptocurrencies didn't exist, I think gold and silver would be performing a lot better than they are right now. And take a look at this. In my video yesterday, Bitcoin had just passed up silver. It was sitting at number 8 on the top assets by market cap. It has moved up to number 7. So Bitcoin continues to move up. And in fact, all of the cryptocurrencies combined would be sitting at number 4 if you add them all together. Bitcoin obviously is the largest of all the cryptocurrencies by market cap. So I think cryptos are taking a little bit away from precious metals right now, but be that as it may, gold and silver are still both having incredible years. So where are gold and silver going to go in 2025? 2025. What is my price prediction? Well, many of you know my price prediction for silver in 2024 was that it would hit 32.33 an ounce and actually end the year there. So we're about $1 off from that. It certainly could be an accurate prediction. We'll see what happens over the next month and a half. But what I want to do for 2025 is actually start with gold and then work towards silver, because usually gold will lead the way and silver will follow. That is certainly what we saw this year. So I tend to agree with what the big banks are thinking. It's not just Goldman Sachs, it's also Citibank, Bank of America. Lots of them have predicted $3,000 gold for 2025. And let's say we go with that number. Let's say we all agree, okay, gold's going to hit $3,000 an ounce. Well, silver's probably going to move up faster than gold. We're going to see the gold-silver ratio drop. Let's say it drops to 75 to 1. Okay, so we can do some simple math and see where that would actually put silver. So if we go 3,000, we divide that by 75, we get to $40 silver. It seems as though silver could hit 40 next year. Now let's say we're more conservative with the gold-silver ratio. We go 3,000 divided by 80, then we get to 37.50 for silver. I think this is definitely a more conservative look at what could happen, but I certainly think this is in the realm of possibilities. Let's say we get a little aggressive with the gold-silver ratio. We go 3,000, we divide that by 60. If it really drops next year, then we get to $50 silver. So I certainly think we could hit high 30s, 40, perhaps even $50 next year at some point. That's sort of on the upper end. But once we pass 50, then we get into the mania phase for silver. We're at a new nominal all-time high, and people really start flooding in, and that's when we see it go to those crazy numbers, 80, 100, 150. So is that possible next year? I suppose it is possible, but it is not my prediction. I like to be more on the conservative side, so I'm going to say, for me, I'm looking at an 80-to-1 gold-silver ratio, which would be 37.50 for silver. That's what I see silver doing next year. Of course, I could be wrong. It could go much higher, but that's my personal prediction. And again, if we move back to the silver year-to-date chart, silver moved up about $7.50 from where it was at the start of the year until right now. So if we see another move of $7.50, we're still not to $40 silver yet, but we are getting close. Now, the high for the year was actually $34.86. So this was about an $11 jump from the start of the year till the high. So if we add 11 on top of that, we're looking at $45 silver, no problem. So I do think silver has a bright future ahead of itself. It only takes one or two black swan events for people to really start flooding back into precious metals. That's kind of what's going on today with the war over in Russia, Ukraine, sort of heating up. So silver's actually now up $1 on the day. I mean, these day-to-day moves, they sort of play into the overall price, but you need to look at big picture. Are things around the world going to tend to get better or worse? Also, what about the dollar? Is the dollar going to do better or worse? Well, we know inflation wasn't fixed. Inflation is still going on right now. It's going to be more dollars next year. It's going to be more inflation, and this is definitely advantageous for both gold and silver. So those are my thoughts. Those are my predictions for next year. Let me know your predictions down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.